Hello everyone and welcome back to another DIY Squaredrop camper build. This is part 11. And in this video we are creating the upper bulkhead and creating the countertop, getting everything in the camper varnished, and eventually fully installing the countertop and upper bulkhead. So this is pretty exciting, at least for me. At the beginning here, we are dry fitting the countertop and dry fitting the upper bulkhead, making sure that everything is the correct dimensions. Because once this is in, we can finally remove those dead man's braces. Because everything will be good to go, as you can see here, where it's all PL premiumed and sealed and stuck together. So the dry fit looks good. Thanks to my lovely wife for helping me do that. I appreciate it. And then here you can see that I'm cutting out a top of that upper bulkhead. Because if you saw in the last frame, you'll notice that the bulkhead was too tall. It went over where I needed it to. So I'm cutting it down here, trimming it, and also sanding everything down so that it slides in a little smoother. Because it was a little tight. And then here I am taking these aluminum brackets and I am putting holes in them and then countersinking those holes so that I can use these to help mount and secure my countertop. Originally, you may notice there are dados drilled into the side of the camper. I ended up not wanting to go that route. I wanted kind of more support, and to be honest, I just kind of decided to do those dados, even though I knew that I was going to do the brackets. So I don't really know why I did that. It was just kind of a brain fart. One of my many mistakes in this build. But, you know, the L brackets, these things will cover those up, so I'm not super worried about it. You'll barely be able to tell that they were there once everything is complete anyway. So now I'm doing the countersinking of it. And, you know, there's holes in these on the sides, both sides. One to attach to the wall, as you see here, and one to attach to the countertop. So these ones to the wall, they're covering up that dado, so you can't even see it, except for just a little bit, which you'll see later. But I use these pieces of wood that I cut to exact length to secure these properly, so that they are both exactly the same height, which is the same height as the bulkhead, the lower bulkhead there. So once again, this countertop, this will slide in and become a shelf inside the sleeping area, as well as the whole countertop in the back. Now this countertop, it will have another piece on top. I haven't decided if I'm going to use galvanized steel yet, or perhaps Formica, or maybe even butcher block. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but it is here as plywood for now, but it will have something on top of it to make it look really nice and, you know, to be usable. You can see here that I'm drilling down through there now to attach these with, I think they're number 10 machine screws, I want to say, with nuts on them as well. And they go right through the aluminum, and they are put here, the nuts are screwed onto the bottom. This is all just really a dry fitting. I'm just checking to make sure everything looks good. I'm making the holes, trying to get it all perfect, because obviously everything has to be sealed, which will happen in this video, like I mentioned. I know it's been a little while since my last video, and I apologize for that, but I was once again on my honeymoon during when I was putting the walls up, or when the walls up video came out. I was on my honeymoon. Now I'm back, and I've been working on this as much as I can. And now I am cutting out the supports for the countertop. These countertop supports will serve multiple purposes here. They not only will support the countertop, but they will also support the not the refrigerator, but the cooler slide out and the stove oven slide out as well. They need to be fixed in there really well, so I use pocket holes, which you'll see here momentarily, to attach them to the floor, and then I use PL Premium to attach them to the rear bulkhead, and then off camera I also put in screws on the top to get these things really good. Here you can see I'm cutting out a little section of these, both of these. I stacked them together, put some clamps on it. And the reason I did that was because electrical will be going through them, and so I want to have a nice little square there so that my electrical cables can run through the back there freely. You can see here that I'm putting spacers that are exactly the same length on top of the cooler there, and on the back and on the front, so that this thing is perfectly aligned. And here you can see me putting PL Premium on it. And you can see that little cutout, like I mentioned in the back, which is where all the electrical will go. So here I am putting this all the way back, pushing it hard against my spacers, and using a clamp to kind of really push it against the back where the PL Premium will go. And then here's the second one, same thing. PL Premium on the back edge, sliding it in with the spacers there, pushing it against the spacers, pushing it against the back wall, the bulkhead, putting a clamp there so that it's really pushing up against there. I'm not sure what I was doing just then in the garage, but here you can see me putting in the pocket holes. So this is on the inside, and I am measuring out and finding where exactly I need to put holes to put in 2 pocket screws on each one to really pull it together and clamp it even further than with the clamps. And I somehow managed to convince my wife to, while I was working during the week, to clean everything in the trailer and also varnish it with Halcyon, or Total Boat's Halcyon Marine Varnish. I did the clear gloss. So here she is cleaning everything with mineral spirits, while I am attempting to take off the countertop. I had screws break off inside the counter, which was very lovely, and then I had one completely strip. So, needless to say, I went to the hardware store and got myself some screw extractors, because that was a pain in the butt. But here she is cleaning up everything with a very light mineral spirits wash across the entire thing. And this was done on, I want to say, a Tuesday, and then or a Wednesday, and then the next day is when she started doing the sealing with the Total Boat Halcyon. It's my favorite varnish. I think it really seals everything up. In this shot, you can see I'm cleaning up a little bit of the PL Premium from my little shelf here, which I may end up taking down. I'm not totally sure yet. I want a shelf here for sure, but I don't really like how the width of it. It's a little bit off, so it kind of bows out the camper. So I'm probably going to replace that. We'll see. It all depends on how everything else comes together. So now that that's all done, this is the next day, and she is taking a roller with the Total Boat Halcyon, and she is getting everything sealed. So once again, thank you so much to my wonderful wife for helping me out with this project. I had asked her months in advance if she would be down to seal everything for me, and I reminded her that she had said that yes, leading up to this, so that she didn't completely hate me. Yeah, it's great having some help while getting some work done while on the trailer while I'm actually working is really ideal. And I can't thank her enough. So yeah, she did 3 total coats of this. I didn't record all of it. She in fact didn't want me to record any of it, but I had to for posterity. So once she had the first coat done, which is right after this, then she went to the second and then did the third. It only takes about an hour between coats, which is really great. One of the reasons I really love this Total Boat stuff. And she also sealed the upper bulkhead and the countertop. You can see the countertop behind her now, and if you look on the left of your screen in the corner, that's the actual the upper bulkhead. So they were done separately, but at the same time, just not while they were installed, because it was kind of a pain in the butt. So here we are getting the actual countertop, or excuse me, the upper bulkhead installed. PL Premium is already in there, and we slid it down together. I took off the tape, which was helping me keep everything nice and clean. And then on the outside, using pocket hole screws to really pull it all together. So that's going to do it for this episode. As you can see here, this is before we put the upper bulkhead in. And then this last image is everything done. So please like and subscribe, and I'll have more content coming soon.